Hello and welcome to Dan Talks United. Well, United fans, it was 1-0 at half time. We were dreaming of second place in the Premier League. Then we had an absolute capitulation in the second half, absolute shit show. Ahmad were too small to mark Gibbs White for the first, and then Dalot didn't do Dalot for the second goal. And then what do you get? We're 2-1 down. Luckily, we brought it back before the end of the game with a fantastic strike from Ahmad on the volley. However, we should have really won that game. Just a tough one to take. It almost does feel like a loss. However, I suppose the team did show a bit of fighting spirit to bring it back. So just to go through the game then as normal, unchanged lineup for the first time for Amorim. I think since he's been here, because he does keep chopping and changing the team. So it was a similar start to what we've had against Brighton and Sunderland, for example. We did try to press them. I don't think it was as aggressive as we was against Brighton, but we did try to press them. Sesko was pressing and Mbuma and what have you. There was a lot of aggressive pressing from Shaw and De Ligt as normal. So ultimately, it was a very similar sort of gameplay as we have been doing so far. There wasn't a lot of building up from the back. There was a lot of long balls again from Le Mans. But obviously, I think our struggles were trying to break down that low block of Forest, but we would have expected that with a Dyche team. A little bit disappointed with Sesko in this game. I thought he had a lot of poor touches. He was put through on goal a couple of times. There's one in particular where if he'd controlled it well, it'd have been through on goal for one-on-one. I thought his passing wasn't great. Like I said, I think his control wasn't great. I don't remember him winning much headers either, which is meant to be his strength. However, first half, controversial first goal potentially with that corner that the ball didn't probably fully go over the line. However, brilliant performance from Casemiro with that header. Fantastic header from Casemiro. It's one that we expect Casemiro to do these days anyway. He's very good from set pieces. Up there with Maguire, who we've been missing at the back for his heading ability. So how did we play? Like I say, first half, I felt that we played pretty well in the first half in the sense of keeping the ball, seemed to be controlling the game. Didn't make many chances, to be honest, and like I say, we did struggle to break that low block down. But then when we got into that second half, like I say, it just fell to bits. And it was very quick goals. Forest came out the blocks really fast in that second half. I think we were still asleep. We were still in the dressing room, I think. And like I say, 7 minutes, and we're 2-1 down. Just absolute shit performance all round for the team. There was gaps emerging through midfield, so that exposure, a lot of that complaining and moaning that I've done about midfield, I've not moaned about it recently because we've won 3 in a row. But those gaps were emerging, especially when we're trying to chase the game. There was a few occasions where Casemiro was just inches late or seconds late and getting the interception. And once you commit yourself and you miss that interception, then they're just playing through you. And there was cutting through the centre of our midfield. It was that sort of knife through butter approach, unfortunately. So yeah, Reds, it does feel like a loss. I know it was a draw. I think, where are we now? I think it's 5th in the table for now until other teams play. But again, was hoping to get that 4th win in a row. I always mention him, United Strand. I'm sure he's gutted because he'll be starting on 0 now because it needs to be 5 wins in a row before he can get his hair cut. So, yeah, a bit gutting, a bit disappointing. Wanted to go into that game against Spurs with a win. Not sure if they've played yet or what they've done so far, but like I say, I suppose one of the pluses we can take from this is, as I've said before, maybe in previous games, is that when we go down and when we're losing, normally heads are down and we're pretty much out of that game. I suppose the plus side is that we did look to score, didn't carve open many chances, as I was saying, quite a lot of reliance on long shots. Cunha had a few, I think Bruno had a few. Very strange shot that he had that hit the post, beat the keeper, but hit the post. So the positives, if I can get a positive, is that we haven't lost. We've come out of there with a point. It was an away game, but not much else I can say about it, really. Just going to try and break down top three players for Man United. Always difficult when you haven't won, because it sort of changes the mood and the thought process. I'm going to go third, De Ligt. Might sound a strange choice when we've conceded two and I'm picking a defender, but I felt De Ligt again was sort of went under the radar in a sense, or he's not really spoken about much. And I think he defended well. I think he was really aggressive. I think he did well, just making up those numbers in midfield again, and just stepping up into midfield and being aggressive and trying to get that interception to turn over play and go on the attack. So I'll go with De Ligt third. Second, it was close really, between two. I'm gonna give it to Ahmad because of the goal at the end and saving us a point. I was thinking about Shaw because I thought Shaw played pretty well as well at times. Again, doing very similar to De Ligt and being very aggressive and stepping into midfield and doing quite a few interceptions, last-ditch tackles and you name it. So that was very close. And then maybe a strange choice, as people might think. I'm going to go with Casemiro for man of the match. I just thought, as much as there was times where he did miss some interceptions, I must be honest, I still felt that he was holding his own against Elliot Anderson, against a much younger player who is all action, who is really a really good midfielder. He got his goal to set us on our way. Not his fault per se that we've conceded two goals. I still think he marshalled that midfield pretty well. He was still in the right positions at times. It's just sometimes that lack of pace just means that he just misses a fraction of a second that's needed to get that interception. But yeah, very close there between first and second. But I'm just going to say that Casemiro pips Ahmad for the man of the match. So next game is Spurs at down at Spurs as well. Another away game, 2 in a row. Very strange. The only thing to save the weekend now is for Liverpool to lose again. They've got Villa. Could do with Spurs being slowed down a little bit as well. So come on, Villa, come on, you can beat the Scousers. So again, as always, thank you for watching Dan Talks United. Please subscribe because it's really important to new channels such as this. Please like, please share, and I will see you on the next one.